Hello everybody, this is Mrs. Baxter, and today we are going to move on to systems of equations. But before that, we have to review how to graph a line. So this should be all review. We should go pretty quickly here, but I want to make sure that you guys do understand the basics of this, and then we can build from there, okay? So the very first thing, hopefully remember that lines all have an equation, and one of the things is that the line is always the equation, let me see here, I'm gonna go y is equal to mx plus b. Now don't worry, because what we're gonna do is we are going to talk about what each of those letters means and how they apply to the coordinate plane, okay? So what is this called? This is called slope intercept form. And I'm not so concerned about you knowing this form name, just knowing that there is a name for it, slope intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. Well, what does that m right here, what does this m stand for? The m stands for the slope, okay? And the b right here stands for your y intercept. Now, when you think about the word slope and intercept, I think, okay, slope, kind of like a mountain, right? So your slope is how steep your mountain is, okay? So sometimes my slope might be like this, right? So my slope is only like this versus a mountain like this where my slope is, we're a lot higher, right? So think about that slope. Okay, I'm going to go skiing down a mountain. What is the slope of the mountain? All right, what does B stand for? Well, that B is the y-intercept. Think about, what does the word intercept mean? Well, if you think about it, you might be thinking the word intersect. So if you're looking at the graph right here, we'll review this, but this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. The y-intercept is where your line or your quadratic, your parabola, either one, where it crosses this line, okay? So the y is going to tell you where to start your line, either positive or negative, okay? Remember, this is our origin. This is always 0, 0. So x is 0, y is 0. Here, x can be any number, but x is always 0, x is always 0, but y has a number either positive or negative, okay? So your y-intercept is where your line crosses the y-axis. All right, so what do the ordered pairs represent on any given line? It's the points on the line, okay? Remember, an ordered pair is x comma y. X always comes first, followed by y. Alphabetical order makes it easier to remember. I want you to label your graph here. This is your x axis. This is your y axis, right? In fact, I'll do those in different colors so you can see, but I want you to label x and y. So when you are plotting something on your line or on your coordinate plane, this whole graph right here is your coordinate plane or your graph. When you're plotting something, so do not write this down, but this is just an example for a refresher. Say we have 2, 3. All right, both positive numbers. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go 1, 2 over for my x and up 1, 2, 3. That is my first point for this line, okay? Then say I have -4, -10. Okay, well, I'm going to start at 0. Hold on, let me do this again. -4, -10. I would start at 0, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in the negative direction for x, and I'm going to go down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and this graph doesn't go that far, but it would be somewhere right down here, okay? So that is just a quick refresher on plotting points on the line. Now, how do we go about and graph these equations right here on the line? Well, I'm going to start out, we'll do the first one, line A, like this. I'm going to look at this and I'm saying, first number, you're going to always look at this first number. When it's in y-axis, oops, not that one, sorry, that tricked me. This is my slope. When it's attached to x, it's your slope. This is like saying there's plus 0. So this is going to start on the origin. This is going to start at 1. This is going to start at -2, okay? So for this equation, line A, we're going to start at -2. I'm going to go down 1, 2. Here's where my line starts. Now, when we talk about slope, okay, 3/4, it's the same as rise over run, okay? And rise over run. When I say rise over run, I mean you're going to go up or down first. Always, always, always. We have to get up out of bed before we can run out the door, okay? So up is positive, down is our negative direction, and then we're always gonna go into the right direction. Run, run, run to the right every single time. So rise over run, run to the right, okay? So we're starting at our -2, and that's where you start your slope from. So in this case, it's a +3, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the second dot. And then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3. Here's my third dot, okay? Now, once you've gone to the right, go back to where you started and go the opposite direction, okay? So if it was up and right, now we're going to go down and left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I almost need a straight edge here. Let me grab a piece of paper, and I'm going to draw us a fairly nice line like so. Here is our line, okay? All right, let's try... pick a different color. Let's do this one. Let's try this for line B. All right, what's our y-intercept is 1. So I'm going to go up here to 1 like this. And now we have a -2, okay? So here we have -2. Well, how do we translate that into rise over run, where we're going up or down first? In this case, we are going to go down, right? And we are going to always run, run, run to the right. Right, right, right. All right. -2 is also the same as -2/1. Always. If you have a whole number and you don't see a fraction there, it's going to be -2 or 10 or whatever it is over 1. So we're going to go back and start here at our y-intercept. And I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2. What direction do I go? Right, right, right. Good. Down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. Now, if you need to pause the video to do this, go ahead and do it. Now let's make our line. Look at that. Ooh, nice and pretty. All right, so this is line B. Lastly, let's do line C. I'm gonna do some fun green color here, okay? Like I mentioned before, -1/2 x. Our -1/2 x is m, okay? X, remember those are together, plus b. Since we don't see anything, we can assume that it's the same as plus 0. So our line C starts at 0, and let's look at our slope, -1/2, our rise over run. When you have a negative slope, you want to make sure that you're always attaching your negative to the rise, okay? Not to your run. When you attach it to both, then you end up having a positive slope, which is not what you want, because then you're going to be going the wrong direction. So in this case, our negative attaches to the 1. We're going to go down 1 to the right 2. Okay, so starting at my origin or at my y-intercept, I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2. Down 1. Okay, so 1, 2. Please be very careful with how you're doing these, because it will matter when we start doing our systems, which is two lines together. One thing I also want to make sure we are aware of is when we're drawing our lines, please make sure you're putting arrows on them because that indicates this line is going to infinity in both directions, okay? Just because our coordinate plane stops in one spot, so at the number 8, for example, then it doesn't mean that that line stops. We could find a point on that line to infinity, okay? That line is gonna go forever. So make sure you're drawing those arrows, okay? Just like our number line, those go to infinity. There's no stop, okay? All right, so, look at this. You guys know how to do this. Getting it to look right. Sometimes you're going to get an equation that looks something like this. Say -6 plus 3y equals -9. Oh, we know how to do algebra. So this is easy to do. Let's get x to one side. So even though we have 2 variables, are we going to find an answer? No, we're just gonna put it into slope-intercept form, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do, because I want x by itself, is, let's see, I'm gonna pick a different color here. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm going to add, let's see, what are they gonna do? Oh no, I wanna get y by itself, my bad. Because y equals mx plus b, right? So if you need to write yourself a little reminder, mx plus b right here, I'm going to now add 6x to both sides. Now, you see how I'm putting it off to the side? Why is that? Well, if you said it's not like terms, you would be correct. So these go away. Notice here, I am also subtracting or adding the x as well because I want them to equal 0. So I've got 0 here. Now I have 3y is equal to, put your 6 first, 6x minus 9, okay? So let's see. Then what you're going to do is you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And you're left with y equals 2x minus 3. Now you have your equation in slope-intercept form. All right, go ahead and see if you can try the next 2 on your own. And if you can, pause the video. And if you have questions, let me know. But otherwise, then you can come back when you're done and see if we solved it the same. Okay, so hopefully you have gone and tried this on your own. You will get something like this. 2y is equal to -x plus 14. Notice I am putting my x first, okay, every single time because it is y equals mx plus b. Y is now equal to -1/2 x plus 7. Hopefully you got that. Okay, next one. Sorry, I know that was really fast, so here you go, -1/2 x plus 7. All right. Again, I'm going to subtract my x. Oh, look here, I have an x here, so I can combine those two. This goes away. 5y is equal to 7x, because remember, this is like saying I have 1x, like this, minus 20. I'm going to divide by 5. And you're going to get kind of a weird slope, but that's okay. It's slope. Okay. And this is your slope-intercept form. Okay, so one thing I would like to mention about this, what was it? I lost my thought, you guys. Y equals mx plus b. I think this is it for now. I don't know, I just completely lost my thought. So as long as you can convert it to this form, now you can see, okay, we've got our slope, or our y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. We have our slope, so now we can solve this. Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. If you remember quadratics, okay, from, here I won't even put that, equals y, yeah. When you see an equation like this, the one thing that is always going to differentiate between a line and a parabola, this is a parabola right here, okay, is what? Well, I'm going to tell you right here, this. X squared is always going to be a parabola because there's 2 points that are equivalent to each other usually, okay? A line only has 1x. So when you're looking at an equation like this, for example, these 3 here, and you see 6x, negative 6x plus 3y equals negative 9, you're automatically going to know this is a line, okay? As soon as you see any kind of x squared, which we'll do later, you will know this is a quadratic, okay? This is a parabola. So just by looking at the equations, you will know what it looks like on a coordinate plane. Okay, I think I went a little bit long here, but this is the gist. This is a good review on graphing lines. I want you to do the practice and then go ahead and watch the next video, which is going to be the systems of equations.